Hi, today we're going to compare the Marshall Studio Vintage 20 half stack to an early 70s JMP 50 half stack. The JMP 50 is a 4x12, of course. If you're going to use greenbacks like they did back then, you need 4 of them for the 50 watter. I'm not going to compare it to a super lead 100 watt. You would need the full stack then. And comparing a full stack to this small 2x12 half stack would be not interesting. Now comparing a 2x12 as the Studio Vintage is to a 4x12 is of course a source of inaccuracy, but that's the sound they're recreating here with this small rig. They aim at recreating this old classic sound. And I actually think they do a really good job, especially when it comes to the real small box and the fact that they use V-type, which are not entry level but pretty affordable speakers. So hats off to Marshall in that and many other respects here. I'm going to comment more on that at the end of the video. Then when it comes to speakers here in Friday's clip, 2 days from now, I'm going to try this Studio Vintage head with my favorite cabs. So it would be 5-6 cabs or something like that with different settings. So stick around for the comments afterwards. I'm going to comment more on the amp then and hope to see you on Friday as well for the other cabs. Let's go. That came a whole lot closer than I expected. especially when we're talking about the small 212 with the semi-affordable speakers in it, compared to the best 4x12 I could find. So hats off to Marshall. They've created a great rig here for anyone. Then the cosmetics are just great. They look as good or maybe even better than the hand wired I used to have 10 years back. My initial concern for this line was that it was too good to be true, that it would be more about cosmetics than tone. Those two often get confused as well. You know, if something looks good, you're bound to conflate, it's called that, with the audio experience. But here the tone really holds its own. And that initial concern also was amplified by, you know, the fact that Marshall has gone into consumer markets with radios and all that other stuff. No, this amp is actually a whole lot closer to 1987X than it is to DSL. And I get basically the same feeling as I got when I played the 1987X the first time. Namely, it feels and sounds even better than the originals in the room, because they're punchier and they amplify frequencies that are kind of is better felt in some way, but recorded they sound colder and harsher than the original. So as a, you know, for what these are mainly used for, you know, for people playing themselves and experiencing it themselves, and that's the end product, then this is a better product than the originals. It sounds and feels better in the room, but recorded they sound colder and harsher. I actually did a video on this. We can post a link to it in the video description, where for what stuff is used for today, the products are actually better today than back in the day. Now you could hear that probably because of the smaller cab, this had the less lower mids but more upper mids. So I think I would have expected more of that, more upper mids, more boxiness, and less of the big sound. So that was kind of impressive. I even wonder if, you know, you may remember that EQ matching clip that I did. It would be interesting to see if you even could EQ match these two into each other. So there are a number of other topics I want to explore here. So one of them is to compare it to a 1987X, and one is to compare it to a DSL 20. Another one is to run it through all my cabs, and we will do that one on Friday. Then to open up this cab and try that one with a bunch of speakers is, I think, interesting. And then, of course, I hope Simon gets the time to do a Strat video also. Otherwise, we have to make do with my Stratons. But I kind of play Les Paul on Strat as well, if you know what I mean. So let me know in the comments what other videos are the most interesting here, and I will produce them. All right, let's meet you in the comments now. I want to know what you think about this. Cheers.